Hi, Anti-Society! Welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are watching episodes 270 and 271 of Bleach. So a lot of stuff happening at the moment. The big thing being that Ichigo versus Ulquiorra is kind of, I think, finally getting into like the actual fight, because we did see Ulquiorra and Ichigo leaving Las Noches because apparently it's against the rules for some of the higher Espada to, or all of the higher Espada to use their release forms inside Las Noches, which makes sense. Like, they would probably destroy it if they were just like casually fighting or like actually fighting intruders. And considering that Ulquiorra has been put in charge by Aizen to like keep everything safe and uh, guarded and that kind of stuff, it would probably be a bad thing if he wrecked it while fighting Ichigo. So now that they're outside of it, I feel like we're really going to get into that, especially since we did get to finally see Ulquiorra's released form. First off, it's probably my favorite release form. Second, I love that in the comments for that video when I was watching that episode that we were just referring to him as emo Batman, and it's just like, and of course we have Ichigo in his hollow form too, so I really feel like we are going to get some of that conflict in a more like serious frame. I also feel like it's going to be interspersed with some of the other conflicts that have been starting. One being Orukia's fight. She's still fighting that like one Arrancar with the mask, so that fight still needs to be finished, and she has Seto and Renji helping her out with that one. We also had Ishida fighting Yami in the last one, and I feel like we're not done with that yet. I feel like Yami's gonna come back. I don't know if it's gonna be like right now or if we're gonna be like leaving that for a second, we'll come back to him, but whatever happens, I feel like Yami's gonna come back and Ishida's gonna have to refight him. Mostly the hype is around Ichigo and Ulquiorra. I feel like maybe that'll be the focus. I'm hoping that'll be the focus. I waited a long time for us to get into this fight properly, and considering that you guys have been warning me that the next few episodes I'm gonna get into are a little bit intense, I feel like it has to do with Ichigo and Ulquiorra. So am I ready? Probably not, but let's just get into episode 270. In 3, 2, 1, go. I'm just... I'm getting Totoro now. You're not in Hollow anymore, though. What happened? Why doesn't Ichigo have his mask anymore? That's worrisome. Because that means he's been beat up a lot, and he probably doesn't have a lot of power at his disposal, which is also worrisome. My like adrenaline is already like my heartbeat's already like going crazy. I don't even know what to like talk about because I'm just like, I want the fight though. I've been waiting so long because I think I said back in like way early on, maybe like the second time we saw Ulquiorra, and I was like, we're gonna have to fight him again, right? But it's been like multiple parts to this arc where we have not fought him yet. So, oh, Ichigo's gonna get thrown around a lot, isn't he? Intense music coming in. Yes, I remember this. Another question about the physics of this world. So there are clouds in Las Noches. Does it rain or are the clouds artificial? Like the blue sky? Just a thought. Obviously, not an important thought given the circumstance, but I'm easily distracted. Yep. Emo Batman. I guess he's more like Man Bat. Definitely don't let down your guard because you did that before and he took the opportunity to distract you. I mean, attack you. Yeah, when he took a chunk of his mask. Like, I want to believe in Ichigo, but at the same time, I just don't see it. True, it's increased, but I don't think by enough. Yes, pay attention, but also like dodge. There you go. Ooh, he mostly dodged it though, so points for that. Not another head injury, also good. Aw. Ishida's such a sweetie. I mean, I like the confidence, but at the same time, like I said, I don't see it. Don't be intimidated. Being intimidated means you'll hesitate, which is not good in a fight. Look at him go, though. I don't think it'll work, but look at him go, nonetheless. He still hasn't really accepted the whole he's part hollow thing, right? I feel like he does, though. He's got like these three parts of himself that have to like fit together. Like human, soul reaper, hollow, and they all have to figure out a way to like balance out. Otherwise, he'll never like truly figure out what his potential is. Uh-oh. I like the determined look. Do we have a plan? Why? Oh, Ichigo. He still has the eyes, though, of the hollow. Interesting shot, though, with the like half of his face covered. Oof. This is looking uncomfortably familiar to what happened last time. I'm just saying. Oh no. He's just human now. Oh, they spot up do like to hit Ichigo around and make him roll through buildings, don't they? I make jokes to make myself feel better about the situation, which is stressing me out deeply. He will literally do everything he possibly can to keep fighting. It's true, he is incredibly stubborn. He literally came back from the dead and is now fighting you again. What are we doing? Tad dramatic. But what are we are we transforming again? How are we transforming again? Isn't that cheating? I would like an explanation. Or is it like even necessary? You're already way more powerful than him. Why are we continuing to power up? Just to make a point? Probably just to make a point. Oh dear. See, I feel like black spiritual pressure is probably a bad sign. I like the green though. I'm worried about them getting anywhere close to this because so we have another form. Okay, sure. It's not gonna make Ichigo give up though. Boy will keep fighting. Oh, I have a really bad feeling. Yeah. Oh dear. I didn't have hope, a lot of hope to begin with, and this really isn't helping me. The animation is pretty cool though, which is a conflicting thing for me. Like the release form was also cool. Ooh. Using his tail like a whip though, that's pretty cool too. I just need you to stop beating up Ichigo. I mean, holification, that's good. Which is a sentence I didn't think I would ever say, but here we are. Oof. I don't know if we needed to throw him by his face. Dang, though. I thought they weren't supposed to destroy Las Noches. I hope those towers aren't important. They aren't like Arrancar trying to like take a nap in there. Again, I joke to deal with the stress. Is that our current understanding of the heart? I mean, I guess. It's true. If he doesn't win, then someone else has to fight Ulquiorra, right? And in Ichigo's mind, that's going to be his friends, which is like unacceptable for him in his brain. He doesn't want anyone to be in danger when he can like do something to help with it. Oof. Ishida, that was not a graceful landing. Points to Orihime though for her graceful landing. Is he holding him by his throat, like with his tail? Is he gonna figure out where his heart is? In a literal sense? Like he was talking about before? Because he has, like, put a hole through his chest before. Yeah. Okay. It's fine. Let's just go through this again. Fine. I'm fine. The stress is not getting to me in any way, shape, or form. And the thing is, like, I knew that this episode was gonna be the like, let's show how strong Ulquiorra is compared to Ichigo, because that's usually how these fights go, where it's like we have to establish how strong the opponent is, and then hopefully our protagonist figures out a way to win the fight. But like, I don't know how, unless like I don't know, someone comes to help him. I mean, I guess Orihime and Ishida are there, but like a captain. There are a few captains there, just hanging out. I assume they're trying to figure out how to get back to the world of the living. Um, but unless there's some other trick that I don't know about. Are we healing him again? No, Ishida! Ah, Gien's eyes being open freaks me out. So I took a little bit of a break to make some chocolate because the stress was getting to me. I'm honestly, okay, couple of things. One, Ulquiorra has two release forms. Why is that necessary? Considering that he's just like throwing Ichigo around anyway. I mean, I guess he wants to teach him despair, which is like part of the thing that he was talking about. So, like, I kind of, I kind of get it in that he like wants to prove a point with Ichigo, like the fact that really what's driving Ichigo like is the heart, which is kind of this thing that has been an ongoing discussion with Ulquiorra about like why all of these people keep persisting in what they're trying to accomplish, like Orihime not being frightened because she's just certain that her friends are going to come and get her, the fact that Ichigo isn't, you know, backing down from the fight because he's absolutely certain that he has to win this fight. So it's not a matter of if he's going to win this fight or if he has a chance of winning the fight. He says like I have to. And so Ulquiorra like trying to figure out what exactly it is that makes them so persistent and like so driven to fight and be part of this conflict, which really doesn't make any sense to him, I don't think. I feel like he's not emotionally invested. Like I feel like emotions are something that he's not great at anyway, but I also feel like this is really just a hierarchy thing really for him. Like he does what Aizen tells him to and he doesn't get attached. That's like what he does. So he really, really doesn't understand someone like having their own like emotional and someone having like this emotional drive that makes them just so positive that they are going to accomplish something because they have to. There's no failing option. You know, that's really where Ichigo is. He's like, there's no room for him to fail at you fighting against Ulquiorra and winning, which is like a bit of an issue right now because it looks like he got impaled again, which not how I wanted this fight to go, but honestly, I don't see the out. And I'm sure you guys are like giggling to yourselves because you know what happens. But like I'm just racking my brain and I'm trying to figure out how Ichigo gets out of this. And like the only way I see this happening is okay, like one of the captains shows up. Like the captains show up and they back him up. Like what happened with Noitara. So if we can get Zereki, if we get Kenpachi showing up and just being a one-man army, then that would be helpful. I take Mayuri at this point. Obviously we've got to have, you know, Orihime doing some reversing time stuff again because of the impalement. Or something happens with Ichigo. I mean, I said this way back before where I was like, Ichigo hasn't leveled up really in his power. Like he is able to better control his hollow self. He's able to maintain it for longer, but that's really all that's happened in the Arrancar arc. He's using some of his abilities in like a slightly different way, but it's not like in the Soul Society arc where we had both the Bankai and the hollowification happening that were like power-ups for him. So he really hasn't like exponentially grown in his ability yet during this arc. So that's also a possibility. I don't know if I like that because the only way that I can see that really working out is Hollow Ichigo. And I'm already suspicious of that because we remember the like king horse speech. I think it was a horse. One is the king and one is like the pack animal that's like helping the king get somewhere. So there was this implication that Hollow Ichigo, White Ichigo would try to take over and become king because Ichigo won out being king, but there was always this kind of lingering threat that that would be something that happens, and we really haven't dealt with White Ichigo in a really long time. Like, it just hasn't come up. There's been no voices in Ichigo's head really, since like really early on in the Arrancar arc when we like first met Shinji and the Visored and stuff. So I'm wondering if that's gonna come back in some capacity, because that's what happened last time when Ichigo got smacked around a lot at the end of the Soul Society arc, is he had to deal with White Ichigo. So I wonder if that'll happen, or possibly maybe something with his Zanpakuto with Sengetsu? Was that the name of the entity inside his Zanpakuto? He got like dissolved into White Ichigo. So I don't know if he's like actually a separate entity anymore, because before it was like White Ichigo was like within the Zanpakuto entity. I think it's Sengetsu. It's been so long now. But like it got flipped where like White Ichigo is in charge now, so I don't think they're like separate consciousness anymore. Like it's all just like Ichigo's internal personalities. Maybe that's something that'll happen. It looks like Ishida's gonna get beat up a little bit, which I am not mentally prepared for. I'm already stressed out. But I guess let's just get into episode 271. In 3, 2, 1, go. Hello? Oh, is this gonna make me cry? I'm not prepared. Just Totoro seems applicable for this, given how stressful the last episode was. I do have tissues though, so this is gonna make me cry. We're gonna find out. uh, I actually got like emotional. Like when I took a little break from like last episode to this one, I was like thinking about it and I could actually feel myself like getting upset. I was like, you need to calm down. Ichigo's gonna be fine. So many clips of Visored in this opener. I'm actually kind of excited for them to come back at some point soon. Okay. Upset me. They're gonna make me watch it again, aren't they? They always do. I really don't think it was necessary to throw him by his head. I have a lot of anxiety about Ichigo hurting his head, though. Ugh, he just like throws him again by his head. Thank goodness that one little section stayed where it was, though, so he could stand dramatically. Not graceful. I'm conflicted because this stresses me out, but also it's a pretty cool shot with like Ichigo being like held up by his tail. They throw him off the building too? That's very unnecessary. I guess it's a good way for him to be near Orihime though, than to like try and get her up the tower in terms of like plotting. But she's gonna try. She has to try. The courage of Ishida though, for just jumping into this fight. Like you can tell he's freaked out by how strong Ulquiorra is, and he's like, I'm gonna distract him and maybe do some damage. Dang, I think he's a little bit angry, but I'm proud of him. I don't think it'll do much, but I'm proud of him for trying. And he's gonna get hurt. I'm not ready. He probably is the most level headed, but he's also like more emotional than maybe he likes to present himself. Look at him go, though. Well, don't get hit with your own attack. That would be bad. Creating some cover. So what did I just say? Please do not hurt him. Hmm. Oh, just- that is not necessary either. Why you gotta be so mean? This whole experience has taken a huge toll on Orihime. She's been through a lot this arc. What happened? What are we doing? Come again? Is he still fighting? Because if Ichigo comes back to life out of like pure stubbornness and determination, that would be the most Ichigo thing. Like pure will. Also interesting that like the hole in his chest, like it isn't bleeding or anything. Like it's a very hollow-esque, which makes me nervous because last time he died, we became more hollow. So I would prefer not to have the imagery. What are we doing? Ichigo? Hello? Hello? Is Ichigo actually a hollow? Because that freaks me out a lot. He looks like a hollow. Yo. Wait. My brain doesn't know how to compute this. Wait. Is Ichigo a hollow now? Because he still has the hole in his chest. And he's doing things like that. That's what I'm saying, Ulquiorra. I feel like I was stuck for a second. Sorry, my brain's trying to catch up. Hold on. Hold on. Because it almost seems like Ichigo isn't in there, which also freaks me out. So is it white Ichigo? Like, is it hollow Ichigo? Is it like Ichigo's gone because he died? And now he's a hollow? Because that's how hollows get made. So what you're saying is we should aim for the head? I'm just saying, if he can't regenerate his brain, that would be my takeaway from that. Oh, okay. Good thing we dodged. I don't know if I should be cheering for him anymore. Is he Ichigo? I find it very satisfying that someone is beating up Ulquiorra either way, but I feel like I'm not fully reacting because my brain is in like denial and panic mode. You also can't see his eyes, which freaks me out. Because when you can't see a character's eyes, it means either they're hiding something or they're like soulless. Because he really seems like more the mindless creature. Or like, I don't know, a creature uh more like instinctual than anything else. Ooh, payback though for all of the being thrown by his head that happened before. Ooh, gonna have to be quicker. Unless it's a distraction. I'm just saying. Like that. For something like that. Oh, dang. Why is this so cool? That's terrifying, though. Ooh. We're just using a Sarah close range? Is that what we're doing? We're ending it there? I feel like I'm gonna need a while for my brain to come to terms with what just happened. I'll be interested to like watch this back and see like what my face was actually doing while all this was going on. Because I like can't put thoughts together. Hold on. No, I'm gonna need some more time for my brain to uh catch up. Think about the implications. Deal with the stress that we're just ending there for now. Are we just gonna go back to the other fights? Like we didn't just go through all of that? He's still covering his eyes. Still freaks me out. Oh. Let's debrief on this. Ichigo Ulquiorra killed Ichigo. Again, we've been through this. Went a little bit more on the permanent side with his tactic, given that Ichigo came back last time, saying that Orihime isn't strong enough to bring him back, which seemed to be true. She was like trying to heal him and it wasn't really working. Had Ishida stepping in, proud of him for kind of like knowing the danger of what he was getting into and, you know, being frightened of it and still deciding to jump in and help out Orihime in terms of like distracting Ulquiorra long enough that that she could get to Ichigo and try to help him. Like the fact that he has changed so much from a very like selfish place from when we first met him to a very like selfless place. And I really like that this is like a very obvious transition point for him. Like you can see so clearly that whole decision was based on what his friends needed from him, as opposed to earlier on when he was really just sort of looking for vengeance and he was just looking out for, I mean, I guess he kind of phrased it like he was doing it for the greater good of like Quincy's or his grandfather or whatever, but like ultimately he was doing it because he was angry and he didn't know what to do with kind of the grief and anger that he had about what happened to his grandfather. And now, you know, we have him very much making a conscious decision to help someone else because they matter to him. And then we have like maybe Ichigo? I'm really not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, so we had Ichigo dead and then Orihime desperately asking for him to like come and help. And we kind of got some internal imagery of kind of like his thought process, like what he was going through and him saying like, I have to get up and help my friends. You know, like I said, pure stubborn willpower getting Ichigo to come back from the dead, sort of, because he's very hollow, and even Ulquiorra points that out. But like the fact that he still has the hole in his chest, like he didn't like heal himself, because it's a different form than we usually see with his hollow side. Even when we saw him like the hollification like thing where he was like sort of turning into a hollow and then Visor like brought him back, even then it looks different if I remember correctly. There's obviously some similarities with it, but it's like he's still humanoid, so it's not like a full like hollow transformation thing in the way, I mean, it's kind of like what happened with Visor in that they like turned into a hollow and they were kind of like mindless, but like Ichigo already did that, so I'm very like curious about what exactly is happening here. Like I don't know if it's him becoming a hollow, if it's like a different form, like a Spada or Arrancar in general, I guess. But like I'm using a Spada because in this case he's like obviously powerful enough to be among the Espada. Is it like a released form? In which case, I don't know what that means. I think that's my big, like, brain blockage here, is I'm like, I don't know if I understand because I don't know the implications. I don't know the ramifications of all of this. Like, is he hollow? Is he human? Is he in the middle, like before? He's still, like, technically a Soul Reaper, I guess, because his Bankai was still there. Like, Arrancar and, like, Espada also have their own weapons. Maybe my confusion is justified in that, like, maybe Ichigo's doing a new thing. He is a shonen protagonist, so chances are he's doing something that nobody's seen before. In which case, I'm not the only one who's gonna be super confused. I am curious to see if, like, because it looks like in the next episode we're gonna be, like, checking in with other characters again, if they, like, sense that something has happened. Like, one, that they've sensed that Ichigo like died for a little while, and then two, that he came back. Different understatement, but especially like considering Sado has like he's really good at like sensing people's like spiritual pressure and like the changes of that even before like he unlocked his full abilities and stuff. So we'll see. I'm assuming the captains can sense it, so are they like freaking out a little bit because of what's going on? I mean, it looks like we're just gonna like go back and be like, hey, remember when like Orukia was like fighting off those people? And I'm like, yes, but can we go back to the part where Ichigo is a hollow? I don't know. I guess we'll find out in the next, hopefully, the next few episodes. I'll get some kind of answer or idea. Is he gonna come back? Is he gonna kill Ulquiorra with the Zero at like point blank range? Because that's very not Ichigo. Is it white Ichigo? Like, is it hollow Ichigo that's coming in and that's why we're where we're at? Like, is the king changed? I don't know, guys. But you can click this playlist if you want to see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe. I post new Bleach reactions every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!